I went to an event that shocked me. To be honest, most of the crypto space is doing it the wrong way. And I think this is going to keep a lot of us not only working our jobs, but poorer than we probably got here with. This is something I want to talk about in today's video as someone that recently went to a cryptocurrency based event. I go to plenty of events every single year, but this one especially gave me perspective. That's what I want to talk about in today's Hbar update. So I went to an event with a bunch of Solana folks, and I want to just very quickly start off before I even get into this single chain thesis that I'm very bullish on many different chains. I'm not just bullish on Hbar. I'm not only bullish on Solana, and I'm actually not even bearish on Solana. But Solana represents where a lot of retail culture is at the moment. I'm happy I'm not on this chain for the simple fact that many of the people in this event were like, so what if we're making scams, bro? Everyone is. I mean, everybody's grifting here, so who cares? Let's extract as much money as possible. Of course, they didn't say it exactly like that, but they practically were saying that. And from what I gained in this event, I've gained the fact that the most liquid chain for retail, which is Solana at the moment, let's be honest, right now retail's on Solana. This chain is a glorified casino at the moment. And this is not to take away from the people that are actually building great things. I was on the Solana Games Ambassador program for over a year. I've worked with projects like Star Atlas. You know, these are awesome projects that I actually like. Not sponsored, right? I'm just saying that I actually like these projects. But you know, most of the chain is just a casino. We know about Pump Fund, we know about Bonk, and a lot of those are just bundled messes that are just created to extract money. And study retail giving up on the human race and just mass producing scams on Pump/Bonk. I mean, I think this is the craziest thing. One of the biggest scams this cycle was concentrating retail into a massive casino created for insider wins. I mean, simple as that. That has been what most of the cycle is about. And Hbar is uniquely positioned in the sense that it's been around for quite some time. I mean, we see Hbar here from the price perspective all the way back in 2019. You could see the chart. It's been around for a long time, and yet it still makes these new highs. What makes Hbar so special? And it's not just Hbar. You know, there are other coins in the crypto space that do align similarly that I like to cover as well, AVAX being one of them. You know, we've got XLM, XRP. These are legacy cryptocurrencies that have survived the test of time. The test of time is the true test. I think patience is the number one thing a lot of people in retail need right now. So talking about Hbar, what makes Hbar so special? It's the culture. Simple as that. When you go and interact with an Hbar, there are many different groups and many different factions, but all these factions align on the fact that they want to see Hbar win. When you go to Solana, people don't care about whether or not Solana wins. They just care about whether their bundled rug is going to get more attention than the other bundled rug. So they attack each other. They do all kinds of, I mean, if you've ever heard about vampire attacks, there are tokens that are literally created with these same exact name and ticker that are designed to try to steal attention from the other one with the exact same name. I mean, how ridiculous is that? We don't see that current culture on Hbar because it's still such an early ecosystem, but I guarantee if Hbar got mass adoption right now and we had tens of thousands, if not millions of tokens launching, we would have the same problem. We'd have the same exact problem because retail would come and they would ruin what's wrong with this, what's actually going right with this chain. I'm saying the exact opposite. What's going right with Hbar and XRP and all these things? It's institutions. So institutions, the big players, the big money, the ones that are actually moving the markets, the one that are actually letting Bitcoin be the cryptocurrency that it is today. Because I mean, let's be honest, Bitcoin wouldn't be at $115,000 if institutions, the big guys actually ruling the world, did not care about it and wanted it to fail. They would have done something to attack the network and it would have failed already. But it's gotten too big to lose at this point because they've allowed it to get too big to lose. So these cryptocurrencies like XRP, Hbar, etc., they have these big institutions, these big players that are going to be moving the needle here. Money is going to be moving digitally. In fact, the stock market has already said multiple times it's going to have 24-hour trading. We have stable coins, Visa, many of the big players are moving into crypto. So Hbar is specifically positioned in a way where, and by the way, I think a lot of us retail friends are unfortunately going to lose because if you've talked to your friends in real life, a lot of them are burned from crypto. They have the wrong culture sense. They want to hold things short term. They don't see the long-term vision here. But if you've been holding Hbar for a long time, you're very uniquely positioned in the sense that you have perspective. You have the perspective to understand that a cryptocurrency can come back from the depths of hell. I mean, we saw Hbar go to these highs, then go to these lows, and then come back to these highs. Institutions also have the liquidity to go through these ebb and flows of massive rises into massive dumps. That's the unique thing that I think HBAR holders have right now, that the newer HBAR holders, when this thing pumps, when it goes to $1 plus, these guys are not going to have this perspective. In fact, I have made XRP videos for such a long time. You know, I made XRP videos when it was at 30 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents. It didn't really matter the cents. And I find that when I make these XRP videos, or I make these new age HBAR videos like 25 cents, a lot of you guys will comment and be like, oh, it's not moving anymore. Or, oh, you know, I bought it at 30 cents and oh my God, it's not at 40 cents. You don't understand what we were going through during the bear market when NFTs pretty much did not even exist. The Hedera token service is still new tech. So new, in fact, that when I talk about the Hedera token service, I mean, check this out. The #1 trending token right now is this thing called Dose of the Demon. And we talked about it on the channel. It did really well. And no, none of this is sponsored. I mean, this is literally just trading on chain because there's just so little liquidity on chain for HBAR. It's at 1.3 mil, was almost at nothing. And then we had GIB, which was almost at nothing too. Also went to like 5 and went to 7 mil at some point. This is what we're excited about on HBAR at the moment. That's how early you are when it comes to something like HBAR. But if you operate in the retail mentality that you're just going to hold this for 2 days and then leave, you're playing this wrong. This is, and this might upset some HBAR holders right now, but this is the honest truth you need to hear. It's an illiquid chain at the moment. There are not a lot of people that are interacting within the HBAR ecosystem. And it is a blessing and a curse. In Avalanche, I made over $100,000 last month because of the insane run that happened with memes within the Avalanche space. There were also big opportunities in DeFi with Black Hole. Black Hole was a huge opportunity for anybody that would have gotten into it. It was an enormous yield farm. Okay, with this being said, if I was on Solana, I would never have had the opportunity to be able to get into these very few plays that actually did well. But we look at something like HBAR. HBAR has these opportunities every single day because there are only so many tokens that the entire community focuses on the very few winners for it to continue to win. I have a thesis, a crypto thesis, that these illiquid chains are much easier to trade on, much easier to actually make money on. You might not make billions of dollars, but if you're someone that's not starting out with a lot of capital, the opportunity that presents itself is uncanny. And just going off on a little bit of a tangent, I made a single video. This was 2 days ago, my latest HBAR video, talking about the Origin airdrop. We have 73 people right now participating in this. When I made that video, we had way less people. In fact, we got so many people off just one video, a single video on this Origin airdrop, that we've become the second biggest squad. I think if I make like 3 more videos talking about this thing, we'll be #1. Every single member that enters here, just fun fact here, we get a 2% bonus on the amount of points that we get. So just having the second most, you'd be heavily incentivized to join our squad here. The kick for me is that we all get an airdrop as a result of hopping onto this. Origin is trying to do startups and is something also, I think for liquid chains, this is an enormous opportunity here, especially for something like HBAR, where there is a lot of liquidity. I'm not saying there's no liquidity. There's plenty of liquidity that could be tapped into. But just right now, as we are talking, it's quite illiquid. So the opportunity presents itself for billions of dollars to move on chain. That's something that a lot of these chains are trying to do. They want money to move on chain. They want the Hedera token service to be a success. So projects like Origin are trying to make it so these institutions go on chain. I mean, that's just all they're trying to do. And so if you're looking for free money, you want to do HBAR staking. And I mean, there's no reason not to do HBAR staking. It's liquid staking, which means that you could take it in, you could take it out. You could even do transactions while you're staked. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You can be part of this. I'll leave the link in the description. There's no reason we shouldn't be the #1 on Origin. I made a single video and we're already almost #1. So why don't we go ahead and just make it happen? But anyway, going back into the tangent that I was going in regards to HBAR stuff, this is a unique opportunity here because people don't realize, the new crypto folk don't realize, and I think Wall Street is still learning about this, that there is a stark difference between price, market cap, and treasury. So treasury is the amount of capital that HBAR has available to it to actually promote its ecosystem. I mean, when we talked about Shane, the HBAR Foundation last year and all that controversy, how much money they were really giving out, we got a very clear guideline here as to just how much capital HBAR has. HBAR has tons of money. They're just not spending tons of it other than giving to institutions, which I think is a smart play. In my opinion, the whole crypto Twitter mentality where you have to give all your money to retail, I don't think it makes sense. And HBAR has never been that kind of play. HBAR should not care about retail. And I hate to say that because I'm part of the train. You know, I think we're all retail, but they shouldn't care about us because their big thing, the thing that makes them unique, is the fact that their council is made up of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in the world. They have even more just past the Fortune 500. Some of the biggest companies in the world are already building or are a part of the council on HBAR. So that's all they need to focus on, the long-term view of them adopting it over time. This isn't going to happen in a day, and we've seen it take years upon years upon years. The US announced Project Crypto, where they're just opening the floodgates for anybody to build in the US when it comes to a cryptocurrency project. They've just opened the floodgates. They're letting anyone do whatever they want. HBAR is uniquely positioned right now with this validator set to dominate the space when it comes to DeFi. So what do you think is going to happen over the next 6 months? Well, what I think is going to happen, simply put, is tons of TVLs coming to HBAR. There is going to be a DeFi run. And given just how low the market cap is for a lot of these coins, there presents an immense opportunity to be a part of this and make a life-changing amount of money while others continue to ignore this aspect of HBAR. And the market presents itself every single day. Every single day, there is an opportunity on HBAR. So these are the unique just advantages that we have over retail chains like Solana, which are just massive casinos used to extract capital. We have the institutions that are actually going to hold. I hate to kind of dunk on ourselves, but that's just the way of the world. And that's why HBAR has performed as well as it has and will likely continue to perform better than just historically retail chains. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's going to be pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.